Clemens, would you please tell this court your profession?
I'm a lawyer. Most of my work is in the field of entertainment.
You knew Terry Knight.
I drew up the original contract between her, Carla Peters, and Janice Wyatt. The one that formalized their relationship as the Dreams. And I continued as her lawyer right up until her death.
So, you knew Terry Knight from, shall we say, her humble beginnings as a singer?
From the grassroots, Mr. Mason.
Mr. Clemens, fortune and fame, we know, can sometimes have strange effects on people. After achieving success, entertainers can sometimes become high-strung, demanding, unreasonable. Can they not?
Objection. Where is the relevance?
Your Honor, proof of reasonable doubt demands showing that other people, in this instance, a good many other people, had a motive for committing this murder. Terry Knight's personality is a crucial element.
Your Honor, Mr. Mason is trying to put the victim on trial here.
Perhaps, but there is some relevancy here. I'm going to overrule. Continue, Mr. Mason.
Thank you, Your Honor. What about Terry Knight, Mr. Clemens? Did Terry Knight change too?
I honestly thought that she might prove to be the exception to the rule. For years, Terry was as kind and guileless as the day we met. Then about 6 months ago, well, she became just as imperious as any star I've ever known.
Go on.
Well, suddenly she was calling me every day, wanting this contract amended because so-and-so had ripped her off, wanting that contract nullified because so-and-so had lied to her. She even wanted to sue Carla Peters, her best friend. Apparently, Carla had talked to someone about cutting a solo album. Terry wanted to sue her for breach of contract.
And her producer, Andy Sachs.
Well, when he was mixing one of her albums, he accidentally lost a track she'd recorded. She wanted to sue him for negligence. Fortunately, that didn't happen with Mr. Sachs or anyone else. This kind of litigation only serves to provoke people. And in the music business, making enemies of people you have to work with, well, that's something you must avoid.
Thank you, Mr. Clemens.
Karen, next Thursday night, a whole set to myself. Save my brains out for it.
Congratulations.
Get out of here, please.
Why?
Because if Harry sees me with you, there's going to be trouble all over again.
Sounds like you've been talking to him.
I'm just trying to get on with my life. Would you leave me alone?
I was right about it, wasn't I?
Leave me out of it, Karen.
Kathy, I don't want to make trouble for you, believe me. But 2 people are dead, and I'm pretty sure it's because of Harry. The only person that can help me nail him is you.
Mr. Mason, will you call your next witness, please?
Defense calls Carla Peters.
Terry and Carla were friends. What are you doing?
Trying to find the truth. Ms. Peters, when you, Janice Wyatt, and Terry Knight started out, it was just the Dreams, was it not?
That's right.
But it ended up being Terry Knight and the Dreams. Why? Why wasn't it Carla Peters and the Dreams?
It just didn't work out that way.
When Sean Lasseter promoted Terry to lead singer and demoted you to backup, did Terry object?
No.
In fact, she was relieved she didn't have to compete with you anymore, wasn't she?
I wouldn't know.
In fact, when she heard you were thinking about doing a solo album, when it looked as though she would have to compete with you, she tried to destroy you, didn't she? Miss Peters, didn't Terry Knight try to sue you?
She tried to sue me, yes.
Terry Knight was a willful, vengeful star who was determined to crush any and all threats to her, including you. Isn't that true, Miss Peters?
No, it isn't. You want me to sit up here and say Terry was some kind of monster, don't you?
All I want is the truth.
The truth? The truth is that she was one of the finest people who ever lived. You want me to say she changed? Okay. She changed. How can you not change when 40,000 people go nuts every time you step on stage? Well, you make so much money. You can buy anything you want. That's a lot for a girl who grew up with nothing. You know? People treated her like she was a superstar. So, okay, maybe she acted like one sometimes. But I knew what she was really like. She was my friend. And I loved her.
No more questions.
State want to cross?
No, Your Honor.
Witness may step down.
Well, you got the truth. Any more brilliant ideas?
Think of it this way, Jack. If we hadn't put Carla on the stand, we wouldn't have her truth, and we wouldn't have one less suspect. Lieutenant Brock decided to join us.
I understand you're on your way to pick up a paycheck.
Don't understand what you're talking about. In fact, I think I'm being illegally detained here.
You're under arrest for trespassing. How's that? And that's all I've got on him, gentlemen.
He was heading for the dressing room.
Let's go, Lieutenant. Hello, Becky.
What's going on? Hey, give me that.
Money. How much money exactly? How much was Terry's life worth?
It wasn't me. I'm doing this for someone else. Someone else made me do it.
Who would that be?
Your client, Jack Barnett.
Jack Barnett did not give Becky $50,000 to kill his wife.
Well, Becky had to say something. She probably figured that by laying it on Jack, she'd have the greatest effect on Brock. She was right.
You think she's the one that hired that man to kill Terry?
No. They were like sisters, according to Jack. The idea that she would kill Terry just doesn't make sense. Nothing about this case makes sense.
So, what do we do now?
Follow the money. Find out whose bank account that $50,000 came from. I gotta get a subpoena.
Wait, Ken. Dell, I want you to call Jack and get him over here. And order some coffee. It's going to be a long night.
You found any answers?
No, just a theory. But it's the only way the fact that nothing makes sense makes sense. Mr. Lee